Episode 4 of the 2019 Nui Sports pre-season interview series takes us to King Edward Park, where we catch up with Kahibah FC. We talk to a few of the players and then catch up again with the coaching staff. Up first, it is Jason Zechel, the new 19s coach at Kahibah, and then it wouldn't be a Kahibah interview night without Gumprecht, another one of his charismatic interviews under lights at King Edward Park. And to cap it all off, it's Matt Moncreiff to chat all things Kahibah Rams in 2019. Alright, here at Kahibah with Jayden Demir.
Hey, mate.
How are you, mate? Well, we're not at Kahibah, we're at King Edward Park.
King Edward Park, lovely.
How was the run?
Good. Challenging, but good. There's not much else you can say about that. Run's a run, and yeah, it's good.
Did you get here under half an hour, or?
No, I got here 10 minutes strolled in, not thinking much of it, and turned into a lot more hills, and took it a little bit easy, I thought, but there's definitely room for improvement on the running and the fitness side, so
yeah.
Yes.
Fitness seems to be a big focus of pre-season here so far.
Yeah, very big fitness. We won't touch the ball probably for, I think Friday's the first time I'm going to touch the ball, which is going to be interesting. Get the fitness down pat, get pressing the ball as quick as we possibly can, win the ball when we can, and we'll work with the ball, do its thing, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Got some trials coming up, matches?
Barrow, I think, is the first one, which is always a good hit out against those boys. They're strong, they're physical, gives us a good test, so see if we can match them physically and match the big boys in the comp as well.
Yeah, looking back on last season, where do you think it went wrong? Obviously there was injuries, but there was a whole collective of issues.
Injuries is the big one. Nothing else really went wrong besides the injuries, just probably giving a lot of young boys the experience to play first grade, which was good, which they deserved, and just I think the lack of physicality, we lacked that mental, didn't want the ball, and that's where we lost it most games, in the middle of the park. And we got excited when we went 1-0 up, as we saw against South Cardiff, and we were conceded 3 in 5 minutes, and it's all downhill. As soon as we conceded 1, it was 2, 3 more. So.
Yeah. Is there a real hope now that got a few new faces in? It's a different squad this year, and hopefully a different outcome. Yeah,
definitely a lot of hope going into this season. It'll be a good test for hopefully give the young boys again a bit of a go in first grade with a bit of older heads around them as well, which will help a lot, those younger boys, and yeah, hopefully we can crack top 4 and even win the comp, which will even be better. So
yeah. How important is it having that experience there? Obviously, guys like Rhys Tippett and Rhys up front.
Very, it took a big part last year not having that experience, and it showed where we placed on the table, scoring goals, conceding stupid goals at the back. It's how it was. The experience is good, especially with those young boys in the squad. Like young guys like myself, we get a couple older heads, Heath, Rhys Tippett, Jamie Hadlow's back, which is good. So a couple of those older heads give the younger boys a bit of a push and give them a bit more confidence when they've got the ball and do what they can do, what we see every day in training, which is good.
Yeah. You're almost becoming one of those older heads now. How many years you've been at the club?
This will be my 4th, so
yeah,
still young, 21. So yeah, but I'm pretty well looking. If I'm in first, I'll be one of the more experienced lads in the group, which is always a good thing, but always a bit of pressure, but it's good.
Yeah. You're looking to up your goal tally this year?
Yeah, from 2, I'll hopefully hit double figures at least. Tried to, depending on where I play, that's another thing, I'm not sure where I'm playing, that's another thing a lot of boys don't know as well. So
yeah,
if I can get a couple goals, and as long as we're winning, get the 3 points, it's the first mindset, so yeah.
Alright, all the very best of the season, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Alright, next interview here at Kahibah, we have Bailey Plain, one of the young players coming through. How's things going so far in pre-season, mate?
Oh, pretty difficult. Been in town a few times, doing a few runs, and it's quite challenging, but it'll be good for us in the long run.
Yeah, obviously here at King Edward Park today.
Yeah.
Did a good time, or?
Yeah, I was alright.
Not matching Matt Lee's pace?
No, he's a joke. He's ridiculous.
I think those sunglasses give him sort of superpowers.
Yeah,
and run faster.
I reckon I should get it there.
You obviously haven't had many ball sessions yet, if any.
No.
You're looking forward to sort of getting to working on that structure and.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I'd much rather be using the ball instead of coming in town and doing runs.
Yeah. Trial matches coming up. You got obviously Barrow kicking it off. That's going to be a fairly physical affair.
Yeah, it'll be good for us. Just trying to match up with some older boys, a bit stronger boys, and
yeah. What do you think moving into the 19s this year? Obviously, you think it's going to be much difference from last year in the 17s competition?
Yeah, we're going to have a younger group, and then it'll be pretty difficult because they'll have people who will turn 19, and we're just going to have to try and match up with skill and stuff, I suppose.
Yeah. Obviously got Jason Zechel coaching. He's obviously working pretty hard fitness-wise. Is it good to sort of see the coach out there doing that, and hopefully he'll have a strong season?
Yeah, he was struggling a bit today, but I suppose it'll be good for him just as well as good for us.
Yeah. Has the 19 sort of worked together yet, or is it just still a senior squad?
We had a training session just us on last Wednesday, which was pretty good as a group, and then we've been training with the older boys, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah. So is there? Sorry, I may have cut you off, but is
Right.
there some hope that you might be able to play with maybe 23s this year, maybe break, maybe make a first grade sub appearance at some stage?
Oh, it'd be nice, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Obviously, a club that gives its youngsters some chances, so I think you'll have better hope here than elsewhere. But that should be a good year, and very best of luck, mate.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up here at Kahibah, we have Rhys Tippett. I was going to say a new signing, but you're not new. You were there for half the season, but obviously you've got the full pre-season now. And looking forward to your second year at the club?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously last year I was only around for maybe 8 games or so, 8 to 10 games, and no pre-season, so it'll be good to get into it.
Now you were playing still last year, or you had a break?
So I had my second baby last year.
Oh yeah.
So I took some time, and then I got the itch again, and
So obviously you're sort of working towards full match fitness now, and you might not have got there until like the later stages of last season.
Yeah. So probably even didn't get there then. Truthfully, only training once a week. So working towards it, and looking forward to having a pre-season under my belt and having a crack.
Yeah. How's like this? Obviously you ran 5Ks today. This would compare pretty well to some of the NPL clubs that you've been at.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. This session was pretty hard, and that's where I like it really. You want to put the hard yards in pre-season, get your body right, and certainly this is very similar.
Yeah. Do you feel a bit of pressure being at a club like? Obviously, you've had a lot of experience and won some things in the NPL and that, so you're looked at as one of the more crucial players in this team. Do you feel that pressure?
Not really. Obviously, I see my role as a bit different now. Like obviously, when you're an NPL club, there is a fair bit of pressure. You've got to perform.
Yeah.
It is no different here, but I see my role slightly different. Sort of a older player now, and I guess I'm here to try and help the younger lads. So whatever I can do in that regard is a positive for the club. So I look at it that way. If I can help out and add some goals or some assists or whatever, that'd be great. But pressure not so much.
Yeah. Is it good seeing so many ex-NPL guys come down to this competition now? Obviously, Dino Fajkovic's probably been one of the bigger names to join this competition in recent years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great for Southie to have Faj come. I've played with him quite a few years. He's a top bloke, and he's an even better player. So I think it's going to be great for the league. I think it's important, especially some of the older guys. I think we need to give back a little bit. And obviously now that it's 20s in the NPL, it's a little bit more difficult to give back in that sort of area. So coming back here, and helping the young kids come through, and there's plenty of them it's really important. So I'd encourage towards the end of their careers any NPL player to sort of jump into this league and help out and help the young kids come through.
Yeah. Would it also be, you've seen a lot of players that have come from the NPL system that are younger that haven't managed to break into first grade yet. This is sort of an area where they can maybe refine what they're doing and maybe break back into first grade.
Absolutely, yeah. I think if I was an NPL coach, I'd be keeping my eye on this league. Obviously, having a 20s competition means that there's some players that are sort of, don't sort of get where they need to be till they're 22 or 23. And having a 20s as the backup to first grade means that they may not be there in that league. So this league's the league they come to, and you know, they get their opportunities here. So definitely, I think there's some good opportunities for some good young players to kick on.
Yeah. I spoke to, I'm trying to remember who I spoke to. It was maybe Bailey Plain, but either way, I said there's some experienced players in this team. Yourself, Heath Capriotis, it's those sort of guys. And obviously, last year injury was a concern. So there's a real focus on, you know, staying on the park and being there to guide these youngsters and hopefully find some success this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the key. Really, is you need an experienced spine. But a lot of people say you need big signings, or I don't sort of subscribe to that really.
I think I saw you as a big signing.
Yeah, I don't know about that at this age. Yeah, look, I don't think you need that. I think you need structure, and you need a work ethic, and you need concentration, and as long as you've got those, then these young lads will kick on. And they need a few, you know, experienced heads, which we've got. And you're right, we need to stay fit, so that's important. But I see no reason why this team, as long as they apply themselves, they get fit, and they, you know, they work hard, then I can't see why we wouldn't do well. I've done it before. When I was at Western, we didn't have any superstars, and we ended up winning the comp. We got knocked off in the grand final by Edgy, but yeah, no one expected us to win that, and we just worked hard for each other. Had a good structure, had a good coach, and you know, you can do it definitely. So yeah, positive.
What's the last question? What's it like working with Andre Gumprecht? Obviously, someone who's played in the A-League. You'll probably for a few people like him. He's an interesting person, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. It's good value, Gums. It's good value. I can't say anything bad, can I? No, of course I wouldn't. Yeah, no,
I wouldn't risk it on you.
No, Gums is great. I mean, obviously, someone who's got that level of experience, you know, there's so much knowledge to pass on. Even me, you know, at my age, if you're not trying to learn and better yourself, then you might as well hang up the boots. So, yeah, look, I worked with him a little bit last year. Really looking forward to working with him again this year, and I think we'll have a positive year. I'm no doubt there's probably people thinking that, you know, where Kahibah going to be at, but I'd prefer to keep our head down and see what happens.
Yeah, all the very best of luck, mate. Thank you. Here with Jason Zechel, player and also coach here at Kahibah of the under-19s team. How's things going, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Just trying to get through pre-season. Been a bit tough. So yeah, boys looking good.
Enjoyed your run tonight?
Yeah. Took a couple of minutes off last week, so I'm pretty happy with myself. A couple of boys have been pushing me. I've been pushing them, so yeah.
Spoke with Bailey Plain. He said there hasn't been much ball work yet. Have you managed to get the 19s together and do a couple of sessions so far? Or?
No, we done one session last week, and then we joined in with the first grade 23 players and stuff, and done the run here on Friday. So we've only done one sort of session with the balls, and then gym session on the Thursday, followed by the Friday run. So yeah, this week will be a bit different. So
yeah. Obviously, there hasn't been a lot said this off-season of the 19s team here at Kahibah. Looking like a pretty fit bunch of players you got, so that'd probably be a big strength for the team.
Yeah, most teams I've coached have all been fitter players and stuff, but a lot of the boys already this year have a bit of skill about them, so yeah, I'm pretty happy to see how they go in the next few weeks over trial matches and training and stuff like that. So
yeah. It's sort of difficult to balance being a player and a coach at the same time, or?
Oh, not really. Just got to prioritise.
Yeah.
With work and stuff, I get a lot of leniency from the bosses and stuff, so yeah, it gives me a lot of time to plan and whatnot. So yeah, it's fairly easy for myself. Speaking to someone else, if they were doing the same role and they were working on a different job than I would be, then yeah, it might be a bit harder for them, but I get quite pretty well. So
yeah. Obviously, coming back to Kahibah this year, you see this as a chance to sort of really make an impact and, you know, maybe take that coaching level to the next level, hopefully.
Yeah, like I said, I've got some players with some quality skills and stuff, so it'd be interesting to get out there and see how they go working formations and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty keen and see how it goes. Yeah, a couple of boys I've coached before, so
Yeah. You're not going to say, going to give me a tip of where you might finish, or not that stage just yet?
oh, it's kind of hard to say. Like I've only got 4 or 5 boys from the Kahibah 19s last year, but I've got 4 or 5 players from their 17s as well, and they're both, made both grand finals. So yeah, I reckon if I can make the top 4, I'll be happy with myself and happy with the boys mostly. So
Yeah. Looking to sort of crack this first grade team this year and really cement a spot?
yeah, I feel I had a good season last season. Probably my best season to date. So I'm pretty confident in myself and my abilities. Been pushing myself pretty hard for the last few weeks over Christmas stuff, get some training in. So it's not going to stop there. It's going to continue throughout the season. So I'm pretty keen on see how I go throughout the season against some of the better quality players and stuff that I've never played with for the last few years. So.
I'll ask one more because it's going to get really dark here. I can barely see on that screen there, but I'm going to ask about the experience in this squad. Obviously, there are a lot of young players coming through in first grade, so you're probably seen as one of the more, maybe not an older head, but one of the more experienced players. So that might be something new for you, I guess.
Oh, not really, no. Last 2 seasons at Asst, it's much the same. Like my brother Matt and myself and 2 of the other boys the last 2 years, and a lot of boys this year, apart from Ando and that, and Jake Peters, a lot of the boys were 18, 19-year-olds, a couple of 20-year-olds. So yeah, it's no different than myself. Me and one of the other boys, it's a bit different than what I was used to a few years ago. But then, yeah, once you get older, it's one of those things that it's going to happen. So
you're not that old yet. A few years.
24 next month. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting old.
Yeah. All the very best for playing and coaching this year.
No worries, Ty.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, here at King Edward Park with Andre Gumprecht, head coach, technical director, I don't know, sort of both those things, all those things.
No, if you can throw any name in, it's probably me anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's obviously head coach. The technical director role is what I do for fun.
Yeah.
And it's great to be involved in the juniors as well, and be able to pass on a few bits and pieces to coaches and everyone else. And and then maybe depends on how the body is holding up. You see me as a player, but that is at this point of time not planned.
Yeah.
This year is focused around the first grade squad and me as a coach.
Yeah.
But obviously we have a lot of young players, so we don't know how we get through the season, and things can always change. So we'll see how it pans out.
I'll get you to speak up just a little bit.
Okay.
Next question. You said about the whole the youth thing and maybe not playing this year. I tell you what, you look pretty fit there on that run.
Thank you. Yeah, look, I think it's great when you, even as a head coach, be able to keep up with the boys. Puts them on notice, and that is what we need at this point of time. We need to put people on notice so that they, train in the intensity, so they can become better as a player themselves, and then obviously that will help us as a team to get better results.
Where did you probably can't put it on one thing last year, but it just seemed like a combination of factors that went wrong in Kahibah's season. And I guess at the end of the day, it was time to sort of change a few things, and you've done that by bringing in some new faces.
Look, last year obviously was a very disappointing season for us, and my coaching staff and myself, we sitting numerous of hours behind closed doors to see what it was, and I think one one big situation we probably didn't counted for was the larger amount of injuries we had to cope with, and we just had no depth, and as you know, if you don't have depth, then it becomes quite hard. Now we saw it on a positive though. With no depth, always gives players, other players, potentially younger players, a chance to step in, even though they can't compete at this point of time, but what they can do, they can show us if they have potential, and therefore that last season, even though if it looks on the surface disappointing for us, was good to see which players we would like to work with in the future, and this is how we treated it, and on top of other recruitments we did, and obviously letting other players go, we're quite happy where we're at in a minute, and everyone is putting the hard yards in, what is quite pleasing, and lots of faces at the training sessions. What was also a little bit questionable last year, and it has already improved, and so I like every training session so far.
Yeah. Obviously, you're going to move into more ball work soon, and you've got some games coming up. So, you feel like it's important to set those structures early on and get where get the team playing the way you want them to play.
100%, Ty, you're exactly right there. Now, our structure and theme this season requires a lot of fitness.
Yeah.
Right. So when we're saying fitness, is obviously football fitness. Needs to be football specific. So what we do at this point of time, we're just getting the body ready to be able to train football specific.
Yeah.
And this will come over the next few weeks, obviously together with ball sessions or game training sessions, as you call it. So that will all happening, and setting the structure right is very important, so that everyone knows what we want to do. Yeah. And we also need to keep in mind, obviously, that we also have some B scenarios and C scenarios if an A scenario doesn't work. So we need to obviously work on a few things. Obviously, when we don't have the ball and when we have the ball. So that's all set in stone, the way we want to go with our coaching staff. They know, and we know just need to pass it on to the players.
Yeah. Last thing I'll touch on, I'm just talking Rhys Tippett there before. Obviously, you're probably going to rely pretty heavily on guys like him, Eve Capriotis, like the older heads, the more experienced guys to lead some of the younger players around. Do you think that's a really important aspect of this squad?
I think it's important in any season and in any team. Yeah. Right? It's because it's a cycle of players. You will not always play with the same players for a long period of time. We had a lot of success for a number of years, and now we have to cycle through another lot of players. So we obviously have kept some very, very good players, and they with Kahibah, because they're able to lead, right? And that's what they will do. But they also need support, right? Yeah. It's not that they need to do everything and then everything will go. No, everyone has to support each other. And in those specific moments, those more experienced players obviously then have to put a little bit of stamp on.
Yeah. Last thing I'll ask is this year going to be a big year for Kahibah FC? Do you plan on really pushing for maybe not the top four, but at least being in that race, being there?
Look, Ty, every year will be an important year for us. Yeah. Right? We were never asked to achieve high, but as you know, you never know what you may up against.
Yeah.
Right. So our hopes are very high for this season, and we're looking forward to it, and we see it as a very important season for us, as any other season we played, and we hope that we with a very, very good, consistent team performance through every week to achieve the highest possible. That obviously depends on a number of things, and we at times unable to see that coming or knowing what comes towards us. So yeah, therefore we will take it in any form and shape, and I think the end product will be very positive.
Thank you very much, Andre.
Right, legend.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much, bud.
Thank you. Last interview of the night here, I was going to say here at Kahibah, or here at King Edward Park, a very dark King Edward Park. If you can see him in that black shirt, it's Matt Moncreiff. How's things going, mate?
Good, Ty, really good. Yeah, it's a great spot here at the moment. I'd love to have a little field right here, Kahibah's home green. It'd be good. Plenty of viewing around the top of the hills.
It's more Cooks Hill area than Kahibah, I think.
Yeah, this is not Cooks Hill. It's too rich for Cooks Hill, this one.
Oh,
They're in the dingy streets of Newcastle, Cooks Hill. They're not the beach boys.
Alright, how's things looking? Obviously you worked a lot on fitness, given what I've seen tonight.
Yeah, we sort of changing it. With the last few years we've done fitness mainly on the park with the ball, but this year we're looking at changing a lot of things in the club, to be honest, and this is probably one of them. It's just a bit of a build a base for next week or two and get some good miles in their legs, and hopefully it sets them off when we hit the park and get kicking balls and that sort of stuff. It hopefully help them push it on. But we enjoy. Had all the 17s and 19s here last Friday and today, and the next few weeks on a Tuesday we'll have them joining with the big boys, so they get to learn what it is to be a first grader and what sort of effort you need to put in. And a few of them boys are feeling it tonight. I know for a fact that they were struggling at the end, but the first graders are pushing them through, so it was good.
Yeah, it'd be good having guys like Matt Lee set the stand, maybe as well as set the pace. I don't think anyone can match the pace, but
he's a freak. Honestly, he gives them like a 10-minute start and nearly beats them all, like in a 5k run. It's actually embarrassing. So we have to actually handicap him 10 minutes to make sure he doesn't blow them all away. The first couple of runs, they couldn't see him for daylight. So we've done a bit. There's a few. Rhys Tippett's a good runner. Ashley Beasley's a good runner. I'd say in a couple more weeks they might test him a bit. I think he's got the Woodham at the moment, but it's only a minute or two in it, which was like 4 or 5 minutes the other day. So he'd be. Matty Lee's leading the way, but there's plenty pushing him, that's for sure.
yeah, I think it's the sunglasses that he's got. I think they give him extra pace.
Yeah, there should be a fine. We've got a fine system, but there should be a fine for them sunglasses, to be honest. They're horrible. But that's his bike riding days coming out of him, I think. So
Yeah.
good time.
Good to see everyone in uniform tonight. The new away strip. Kahibah found some information that the club might have been a bit older than you thought.
Yeah, well, we had some club historian who he's been away for a while, but he's back now in town, and he came up with some information for us last year that said we were established in 1925, and he has information to prove that, and also the strip he had was a white with a blue sash, so hence our pre-season or our away strip has got a blue sash. It was white with a blue sash in it now, so it's sort of going back to a bit of a historical thing. We're also trying to bring back a bit of the Rams logo on that as well, which will unveil as the season gets going more to the younger ones than the older ones. But yeah, we're trying to get a bit of history there and doing some things and get some culture right in the club that I don't think we've run really well in the last few years. So we're trying to do a lot of things like that, and obviously try and get a lot of the old boys back involved in the thing. And you've seen today, we might have said earlier, but we had all the Zone League boys having a run with us at the start of the year, at the start of the week. That was just trying to get the club involved. Just one big club is what we are. There's not too many of them out there that have 700 odd players that are in the Premier League or the Northern League One. So we are, and we try to throughout the year the boys will coach junior teams and help me with some junior teams, and it's a couple of nights a year we coach all the junior teams in one night, which is really good. So this is sort of stuff we're bringing back, and we've got some really good people on board. We've had a bit of a clear in the decks. Every week you seem to there's a player from Kahibah going somewhere else, but honestly, we're not saying we wanted them people to go, but there's the people we do have left are the people we really want here and have the right culture and the right where we want to go in the next few years. Is these boys can lead them. You got Rhys Tippett and Jamie Hadlow and some Matty Lee, some good experienced blokes. Obviously Andre leading the way. That can really lead some of these young blokes, and to be honest, we had to do what we had to do is to get rid of some of our 20Vs in first grade, or let some of them go. We didn't get rid of them, sorry, but let some of them go, because we had the best 19s team last year, and we have to make way for them boys to come through. If we don't do it, we'll end up like the Bell Swans or something. Players are just 40-year-old playing first grade all the time. But we need young blokes coming through. We need opportunity for them to play, and you'll see 2 or 3 of them boys from 19s last year playing first grade, which is what clubs should be doing, and promoting their good young youth through, and probably not looking after so many old blokes.
Yeah, well, the Bell Swans game can be interesting.
It always is, and always is.
It's a good rivalry, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I've been sent off twice in like the last 2 years, I think. Actually, I didn't get sent off last year. 2 years before that, I got sent off in Bell Swans. He gets a bit of fired up. But sort of staff with his angry pills, and if he's got his angry pills on, it's hard not to lose it at him. But we'll wait and see what he comes up with. He might be a little quiet coach. Now he's the head coach. I don't know. The pressure might get to him, maybe. I don't know. But I'm sure we'll still the angry side of him at some stage.
Yeah.
He's not a big fan of refs. So
I don't think anyone is these days.
Yeah, but when he's assistant coach, you can't really say much at refs. But now you're the head coach, you can really let loose. So, maybe we'll see a different side of staff, but it'll be interesting. Then Bell Swans games are always good. Doesn't matter where they are or what time of the year they are. Unfortunately, you get them in semis of the year, but they've been too good for us. But anyway, we're working on a more than 1 year plan anyway. So hopefully our boys will be here for a little while longer, and a lot of their boys will retire anyway. So.
Yeah, obviously the goal this year would probably be to improve on last year's finish. That was a reasonably disappointing year.
We were horrible.
Injuries were obviously...
Yeah, we can make excuses, but we were horrible last year. Having said that, we never got beat. Well, we're getting beat 4 or 5 in the first half games, but we never really got completely flogged in too many games, you know what I mean? But I think there's a few players there, we just didn't have the right attitudes for what we needed to do, and obviously working hard, and you lose a couple of main players this first game of the year, or first half of the first game of the year. It makes it tough, but it should have been as tough as what we made it. We got no excuses other than we did wrong. We reacted wrong to losing them star players at the start of the year, and we didn't do the right things. Keeper not have keeper for a while, and he had 2 keepers there for a while, and it just we'd have to wipe the year off, unfortunately. And we've changed a lot of stuff. Like I said, obviously personnel's one we've changed. And the culture of the club is so much different now. Like, I don't know if you after training tonight, was the whole 30 odd sat round and had a chat for 5 or 10 minutes. Like, in the years to come, that wouldn't happen, mate. They'd be always just trying to rush you out of here and get out of here. But Matty Lee's working really hard on getting the boys together and get the culture happening, and that's what we need. You know, there's other clubs that got it. I think Cooks Hill's really good at the culture, and obviously Bell Swans have got a really good vibe out there. We're happy to copy them blokes and try and get something of similar to ours, and we got to do it as a whole club. We're not just doing it as 2 or 3 grades. We're not doing it as all the new FM junior teams and obviously the whole club, the Zone League. We're going to support them, and we now have a new sponsor, Central. So we're going to try and support Central football. Go down there as a group and watch their first grade play and stuff like that. So the vibe this year, trainer, is 1,000% better than it ever has been. Not to say that's going to make a difference in results or whatever, but it may or may not. But we're hoping that we're going to enjoy the year a lot more than we did last year. Whether we run second or third last, or whatever we did, or whether we run in the top 4, which a team like Kahibah should be running top 4 with our big club. So hopefully we do it.
Any last comments? You know, you're looking forward to a pretty decent competition this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, it's a couple of the bottom teams seem like they've singled almost far under the radar. Obviously Toronto's obviously sold some property and bought some players, so they've got some players out there, and one of our good ones, Jack Kepo, he's gone out there. A few other boys that are quite talented young blokes gone out there. Bell Swans looks like he keeps pumping the juniors getting in, so hopefully he puts some juniors with his old boys and they'll be just as hard or strong as they ever have been. Cooks Hill have the same ex-NPL players he had for the last 2 years, so they'll be strong again, which they always are, and we always try to beat Cooks Hill. They're the thing. We even run with them the other day at Empire Park. We're just copying what they do in pre-season, so rather than play NPL teams, we'll copy them and see if we can get them. Thornton, I'd say under radar. I've no idea what Thornton's doing this year, but they look they've been strong the last few years. Southie looks like they've got a nearly whole new team, so they look strong. They're half a Kahibah out there as well with the coaching or playing, so they've got plenty of players out there. I think strong comp. That's why if they run a 4th or 5th, not really that disappointing, I suppose, when you got a really strong comp. But we'd have to wait and see. But we just hope we can blood our young blokes, and we've got a big plan to. When the MPI applications in July come up, we're going to have a good application as anybody, and get our facilities up to scratch, which we're working heavily on. And over the next probably next month or so, you'll see that change at the ground. The ground's looking really good, and we're really targeting the next 6 months of hard work, so we can committee-wise as well, which I'm a big part of, and getting in that NPL. How many golden tickets are going to hand out, but we want to be one of them, and hopefully we get that and we do it right, and we've got some good young blood to make us when we make that step up. Obviously, probably still in second division, but we need these good young blokes that we've got to the club last year, and Jared and Mitch have done an awesome job with them, and they're stepping up to 23s and helping Andre out with first grade as well. And they're doing a fantastic job, and we hope that the boys they bring through as well. They brought Cam Walmsley and a couple other good young blokes to the club as well.
Yeah.
And we hope they're the future of Kahibah, and next 2 or 3 years you'll see the majority of them playing first grade.
Yeah. All right. Well, before you get your car locked in, I'll let you go, and we'll call it a night here at King Edward Park.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks, Ty.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.